everyone, Joan Scannell here with your 3 reasons to know your own personal numerology. Reason number 1, it will help you understand your life purpose. Short and sweet. Numerology, as you know, is the energy of the numbers around us, the numbers in our lives. And by knowing our life purpose, we can know the direction that we're supposed to be taking, or at least feel like we have some kind of direction in our life. By knowing our life purpose, we do that by knowing our life path. Short and sweet, our life path tells us what we've come here to learn and what we've come here to teach. When we calculate our life path, that's by adding up our date of birth. We get a number when we break it down completely of 1 through 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are some variations associated with some of these numbers. I'm not going to get into that here. I'm just going to stick with the core numbers. But short and sweet, it basically tells you what's your purpose here in life, what you're going to be contributing to the world, and what you're going to be learning while you're in the world. For instance, if you had a life path of number 1, that's the energy of leadership and alchemy. This is a person who's here to kind of teach us how to make things happen. If you had any variation of the life path 2, this is the energy of a person who is meant to be wise, a counselor, hopefully a bearer of peace, somebody who is a good listener and is a good problem solver. Ironically, and this is why it's important to know these things, people don't always embrace the energy of their life path. And that's because they don't understand the depth of the numbers behind it, or the wisdom that comes with knowing these numbers. If you know your personal numerology, you can better understand your life path, and by better understanding that, you can understand your life purpose. Reason number 2, knowing your own numerology can help you better understand your assets and liabilities. We kind of call these your strengths and your weaknesses. So every number comes with what I call a stronger, higher level energy and a more challenging energy. So, but by accentuating our natural born talents, the strengths that we've come with, we can have greater success in our goal areas. However, by that same token, if we're not aware of our weaknesses, we won't be able to mitigate any potential problems, and we could walk into a minefield of problems with that. So for instance, let's take a look at the energy of the life path in the number 2. Again, as I mentioned, this is the energy. Their strengths are that they tend to be compassionate, cooperative, patient, supportive. They tend to be intelligent. They have good insight, a lot of common sense in the number 2. However, their challenges can be sensitivity, indecision, hesitation, subjugation. They don't like to act in anything that would require quick decision making. So for instance, if you were looking at a career path and you were a number 2, you may want to avoid something like, I don't know, a corporate CEO, somebody who has to be a little bit more decisive, perhaps ruthless at times, and uncooperative. That would not be the energy you'd want to go with. However, you might say, I'd like to be a counselor. I'd like to be an arbitrator, some kind of mediator, some kind of diplomat, a peacekeeper. That would definitely be the energy of the 2. Knowing what your personal strengths and challenges are as they're associated with these numbers can help you be very successful personally, professionally, socially, and in your goal areas. Okay, so our final reason for knowing, the best reasons for knowing our personal numerology has to do with the fact that you can make the most of the rhythmic cycles of the year. So just like our lives run, we have numbers 1 through 9, the years run 1 through 9. If you add up 2023, as I've mentioned in previous videos, we have the energy of the chariot. Again, this is controlled action. This is thinking. This is planning. This is smart moves, is what this is. But we each, depending on what our date of birth is, have our own personal rhythmic year cycle. And by knowing those energies, we can make the most to be successful in our own personal years. Because what happens is you don't just deal with the energy of the 7, you deal with your own personal energy as well. And it merges with the 7, and you figure out where you're going and what you're doing. For instance, if we wanted to look at this here with the energy of the 1, these two combined, your personal energy, say you had a personal year of a 1, your personal energy of the 1 and the 7 says, what am I going to alchemize? What changes am I going to put in play? What is it I'm going to be doing to make some positive growth in my life? And if we look at the minor arcana in the tarot, we could say, do I want to make changes in my career and my finances? Do I want to make changes in my personal relationships? Do I want to make changes in my approach to things, my philosophy, my way of thinking? Do I want to make changes in my passions and my goal areas? Is there a big personal goal I'm trying to accomplish? By knowing what your personal year is, you can, again, use the energy of both the personal year and the universal year to make this happen. So you might ask yourself, well, how do I figure that out? How do I do this? How do I know this information? Well, here's some easy solutions. I have a book out. It came out recently. I think it was in November. It's called Freedom Through Numbers, Easy as 1, 2, 3. And it's available on Amazon. It's a textbook and it's a workbook. And it helps you personally figure out your numbers so that you will know what your life path is, what your soul number is, what your personality number is, what your path of destiny is, as well as personal year cycles. So this would be a great first place to start. If you're in the New York State area, upstate New York especially, I'm doing an in-person class where I take a lot of the information in this book and I teach it directly to the group. It's going to be February 4th, 2023 at Vitality Specialty Food and Herbs. It's in Glenville, New York, which is in Schenectady County. It's very easy to get to. It's right off the New York State Thruway. It's a 2-hour session where I go over getting you started using this book, going over life path, going over your strengths and your challenge areas, going over your personal year cycles, and getting you started on the rest of the book as well. It is going to be a very small session, so you'll get a lot of great help, one-on-one help. There's not a lot of room, but if you're interested, we still have a couple of spaces left. And I will put the link in this video so you know how to sign up for it. Oh, also the book is coming with it, so you get this book in for the class. The class is $55. The book is $20 alone, so that's a $20 value right there. And it's a 2-hour class, and it starts at noon. So I really hope to see you there, and I thank you for watching this, and talk to you soon.